I'd like to call to order the May 12, 2015 Finance Committee meeting. We've already pledged the allegiance, and we'd ask Mr. Ferrara to roll call.
Anthony Netto.
Here.
Mark Finkel.
Here.
Albert Hayes.
Here.
David Kurtzquist.
Here.
Jeffrey Rosenthal.
Present.
Robert Morris. Excused. Michael Clark.
Here.
Robert Mercer.
Here.
Robert Coltan.
Here.
John Hodgson.
Here.
Stephanie Rizicki. Here. Richard Ferrara. Here. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. First order of business is a motion to adopt or revise the meeting agenda.
I make that motion?
Mr. Finkel.
Okay, second the motion
Mr. Netto.
to adopt the meeting agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? Okay, motion adopted. Second is we need to approve the March 10, 2015 Finance Committee meetings. We need a motion in that regard,
I so move.
Mr. Finkel.
and I'll second that.
Mr. Netto.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that being done, the last item is new committee business. I do believe Mr. Farrar has presented the committee with a second draft proposed budget for 2016 through 2018 in anticipation of the final vote. And do you have any comments at this time, Mr. Farrar?
Yes, I do, Mr. Chairman. On the website, the board meeting website, I had provided I believe it was a 16-page document that would I have an extra version if anybody needs it. And I'm just going to provide a quick budget overview of this second draft. The first page of the documents I provided is a 2-page total district budget. Again, this is for accounting purposes only. It just consolidates the entire district budget, both the Black River area, Hudson River area, and then the general board or general governance allocation to both. So any questions with regard to what we totally spend on any line item can be found on that district total. That's the purpose of that. Page 3 is the general board district governance budget. I have one item I'd like to highlight, and that is under salaries permanent. The current 3-year proposed draft number is significantly higher than the prior 3-year, and there's a reason for that. There's 2 additional general board positions, that being the combined administrative position that Mr. Hodgson now holds is now a general board item, and the new position of compliance officer is also a general board position. That essentially is the variance in that line item. Everything else is fairly static and very similar to the prior 3-year budget, so there's nothing significant there to go over. Generally speaking, all of the non-capital items in the budget across the board, anything that is not any of the capital projects we've talked about, vehicles, is basically, again, static from the last draft I provided. So those numbers have not changed at all. 2 items to highlight. We just received from NYSHIP the health benefit increase estimate for the coming 2 years. The 3rd year I extrapolate on what they provide us for the first 2 years. Their best estimate is a year-over-year increases of 8.5%. So that changed the total health benefits that is provided in your draft documentation from $784,000 and change to $836. Not a huge change, somewhat material, and I'll discuss how I dealt with that in the total draft. Capital structure project funding. That is the most material item in the budget, and specifically as it pertains to the debt service. Right now, we are contemplating a project, a spillway reconstruction at Comptonville, which we believe we can get a subsidized rate. And for purposes of this draft budget, the subsidized rate is 1.75% over 30 years. The Hawkinsville project will not be a subsidized rate, but will most likely be a AAA bond rate of 3.25%. So these are much better bond rates than we were contemplating 3 months ago. There are other projects in here that were not part of the original draft resolution, bond resolution that the board passed. These are projects contemplated at Old Ford, Sixth Lake, and India. Those 3 capital projects are, at this point, estimated to begin somewhere in the 3rd year of the budget, probably out to the end of the 3rd year of the budget. And we have not, at this point, provided the board with a resolution, a bond resolution to take care of that. And I would not expect to see, or I don't believe we would even be prepared to do one, probably for at least whatever it takes to get a much more definitive idea in terms of funding and how we might bond that. So that's out there in the 3rd year. It's not a significant outlay because even in that 3rd year, you're only talking about debt service that's totally in the less than $200,000. So we'll get closer to what we believe might be a number following once we get closer to identifying what the funding might be for the 2 projects that the board has already passed a resolution. We hope that'll certainly be in place, and we'll have more information for June, which we contemplate being the month that we would actually adopt the budget. The Black River area budget, the draft you have right now shows around a 1.36% reduction. At this point, I don't really see a whole lot that is going to change between now and adopting the budget. There's the 2 capital projects for Old Forge and Sixth Lake that we have estimated in there. We do have some residual surplus that right now I'm contemplating that we would use 90% or more of that to mitigate any increase in the assessment from the last cycle to this cycle. So we have a little wiggle room. We might be able to make 1.36 reduction to a 3% reduction. But at this point, I think we're really talking about that neighborhood. Other capital purchases that are not structure capital projects. In SFO, we're contemplating purchasing a snow blower attachment, which is around $6,000. An equipment trailer to replace a trailer that is 30 years old. 27. 27. Thank you. For somewhere in the neighborhood of $19,000. We contemplate replacing a F-250 at Comptonville. All of these, we're looking at the 1st year of the 3-year cycle, and that would be around $27,000. All of those are reflected in this budget. Let's see, anything else of a material nature? Everything else is as was provided with the first draft. And the last pages 8 in those documents, 9, 10, 11, 12, are the amortization tables for all the projects that I just discussed. And any of the debt service that is in the budget, this draft, comes off of those amortization tables. They're very straightforward. Doesn't look anything different than if you had an amortization for your mortgage, and most of us are familiar with that. The last part of the documentation is Rob Fulton, the chief engineer's capital plan by year for the 3-year cycle. It clearly incorporates all the capital projects we just discussed and any other minor capital improvements that he contemplates for the next 3 years. And that's my overview. If the board has any questions, I'd be more than happy to.
This is pretty
So from a going forward standpoint, I think we may informally get the finance committee together again, and then we'll see how we refine this for what would be an expected proposal to the board to adopt the budget in June.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
All right, if there's no questions or comments, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn the Finance Committee meeting.
I make that motion.
I'll second. I'll second.
Mr. Gunn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any negatives? All right, so meeting adjourned.